Set.
Welcome, everyone. This is the April 19th, 2021 meeting of the Environmental Review Board. We have present John Rosenblum, Chair, David Horowitz, and Ivan Alter. Unfortunately, Ted Holmes was forced to duck out at the last minute. But we have a legal quorum, so we can proceed. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the March 15th, 2021 meeting. The only change I would have is to correct the title, which lists March 15th, 2020 instead of 2021, which it should be. Other than that, I had no comments or questions or anything on the minutes. Anybody else?
No.
No. Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to adopt the minutes as corrected.
Motion to adopt as corrected.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are adopted. Next item is a new application. Actually, seems like a modification of a previous application and permit from Heather and Dennis Gushu at 58 Turner Drive. Dennis, do you want to summarize, or should we just have Heather present?
Heather, I think it'd be fair to have her present, and then if you have any follow-up questions sort of from the administrative or other side, I'd be happy to input at that time.
Okay.
Okay.
Heather, the floor is yours.
Good evening. Thank you for your time this evening. As you stated, my name is Heather Gushu, and I reside at 58 Turner Drive. My husband and I, we obtained a wetlands permit for a fence and to construct a stone patio on the side of our home. The permit is still open. We had some mitigation measures put in place by Mr. Corelli, and given that it was the winter, we haven't been able to complete those mitigations. So the wetland permit is still open that was previously granted. In the prior application, we had, as I mentioned, proposed a stone patio. After further consideration, my husband and I decided that given the deck that we have off the side of our house is coming to the end of its useful life, that we are going to we plan to demolish the old deck and build a new deck that would be extending that footprint and no longer constructing the stone patio, which we had already received approval for. In the permit application that was just submitted, I had referenced the mitigation measures that were previously put in place, and we intend to do that. And I'm not sure what else the board would like to know, but I'll leave that if you have any questions.
I guess I had one initial question. We were given a copy of a survey of your property that shows the location of the existing and the new deck. Is that the only drawing that you submitted together with the application?
Well, I submitted for the building permit, I submitted drawings from an architect. So.
Okay, usually we would see those as well as part of the wetlands permit.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought I had also included on a legal page or a PDF those drawings of the deck that was constructed by the architect. I also submitted the large ones to the building department. I could certainly email or drop off copies of those.
Dennis, do you have that? Is it-
I
I don't think it was in the
I do.
package we got.
If they're submitted, that's fine. I didn't get them with this application. I didn't realize that you had already applied for your BP. So I guess we would need just copies of those to be with this application,
Okay.
wetlands application as well.
Mr. Crowley, do you prefer, is an email version okay, or would you like me to drop off a hard copy?
I'll take a hard copy because I'll probably have to provide it to the board at some point.
Okay, so I mean, I'll drop that off tomorrow.
Okay.
How high off the ground is the deck? Is it at grade or is it gonna be supported by columns, et cetera?
I mean, to be honest, I'd have to pull up the copy of the drawings. Let me see if I could get copies right now.
John, in the package that we have,
Mhm.
there's some existing pictures kind of halfway through the packet. Would it be that the replacement deck is going to be at the same elevation as the old one?
I believe it is. It's not, we're not gonna be, yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be any higher than the current deck.
So there's a picture of the house from the side that it's photo number 2. That might be helpful for that.
Or maybe photo number 5 also.
That works too.
Yeah, so it's basically an at-grade deck. It's not gonna be 5 or 10 feet up in the air.
No,
Yeah.
it's gonna be flush with it. It's gonna come off the side from when we walk out the side of our house.
I go.
I'm trying to look at the picture right now, and
And what supports the deck? What goes into the ground to support it?
what kind of material do you mean?
Is it a footing, a sonotube, concrete blocks?
I
What
think
supports the deck above ground?
I mean, all that information will be on the survey from the drawings from the architect.
Understood. Just trying to get a feel for it while we're.
Right, I
call tonight.
understand. I'm trying to pull it up and it's like coming up. Can I share it on my screen with you guys or no?
If you can, that would be great.
Okay.
Sharing is enabled, yes.
Okay, so let me see if I could figure out how to do that. I'm trying to see if I can like drop it in the chat, but it's not working.
There should be a share screen button at the bottom.
Okay, I see it now.
And if you
Thank
do
you.
that, click on that, then you can share whichever window. Yes, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Can you rotate it
Yeah, I
counterclockwise?
think though, let me just see. I think it's the other one that actually has more details about,
There you go. That's it.
yeah. Let me just see. I don't ever use a Mac and I have a Mac at home, so I apologize. Anybody with a Mac know
Yeah,
how
right there, tools. Go
Thank
down, rotate left.
Thank you. Okay. Do you need me to zoom in? Is this it on the bottom left?
That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Would you like me to zoom in?
No,
Okay.
that works for me.
Okay.
In terms of coverage area, how does the new deck compare to the old deck plus the patio?
So the old deck plus the patio was going to be approximately 600 square feet. The new deck is going to be approximately 780 square feet. So, you know, the difference is about 180 square feet from what was previously granted.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think I saw somewhere that, Dennis, the remediation that had been approved last time was greater than what would ordinarily be required?
Even though this application has a greater square footage, aerial coverage, impact, however you want to phrase it, it still wouldn't rise to the area that they are mitigating in terms of a 1-to-1 ratio. They're still at a greater than 1-to-1 ratio in terms of the area of mitigation that's currently under development, which I know last year from speaking with Dennis, not a misspeak, that would be Heather's husband, who I believe, first step was to remove the invasives from area downslope, which actually got wrapped into the wetland delineation, so it's technically restoring wetland area, and I believe they had applied the seeding, and he had just emailed me today asking if a particular, evergreen species substitution was acceptable, and I had no issue with it because they were both native. So that mitigation plan is sort of being executed as we speak.
That's
Is there
correct.
any-
We already have, it was number 3, the condition of the last permit, where it was to remove the just non-native invasive species, and that has already been done, and we already did seeding of wildflower, and then now that it's getting warmer out, we will be doing the rest of the mitigation with planting the trees or the approved trees that was on Mr. Corelli's list.
Was there any reason why it was a greater than 1-to-1 mitigation ratio? Was it just what the applicant proposed, or was there anything significant about the last application, Dennis? Do you know?
I think it was more just the way the lay of the land fell in relation to what was growing within that lay of the land. It happened to be just an area that I think worked out, where in terms of, you have a lot of these not nice species all concentrated here, and it happens to be within the wetlands. And at the time, I believe the wetland delineation flags were still visible, so I was able to use those because they all got surveyed. So I was able to use those sort of to work off of to determine an area. And at the end of the day, that's just sort of how the numerics worked. But, really from a, site call and site condition, it kind of made sense to sort of attack the area at once. And, it's an area that, relatively, manageable and in size. I'm not talking about like an acre and a half, it sort of made sense as to how their property is shaped and oriented and with respect to this area. And I think it all kind of just kind of came together, I think, for lack of a better description, and it worked out with respect to the application as well.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Heather, could you maybe back up, go back to the previous page? Or it looks like maybe it's,
Yes, I can.
that would show the elevation. There we go.
Is this it? I believe so, right?
Yep.
Okay. Do you need,
5'3".
right. So that this is that's at the ground level where the mouse is, and then coming up. And the way that the land is graded, it slopes a little bit. So on the side here, on the picture on the top on the right hand side shows that where the deck comes up, and on this side it would be even with the ground.
So the stairway basically just follows, it follows the slope.
That's correct.
That's the only reason that it's above ground there. Neat. And I would note for the record that it is on the opposite side of the house from where the stone patio was intended to be built, right?
No, it's
Yeah.
so the stone patio, if you look at the picture on the bottom left, you see there's a screen porch. The
Yeah.
stone patio, if you follow the cursor here, was going to be this area here. And it was just going to
Oh,
connect.
So it was going to replace the existing deck?
No, we were going to keep our old deck, and just the way that it's currently configured is right here. There's a stair that comes down, and we were just going to have it would just be you walk down the stairs and then you're on a stone patio.
Okay.
And like I said,
So that area that you were just circling was the patio now being replaced with decking?
so right now there's a tiny little bit of old patio there it takes up I would say maybe like 6 feet, this small area, and the rest of it's grass. But it had been approved in our prior application for it to be all stone patio in this area.
Okay.
And in considering that our deck was constructed in the 1990s and that we were going to be doing the additional work on the side, my husband and I made a decision that we wanted to go ahead and just, make a larger deck and replace the old deck since it was coming to the end of its useful life.
Okay.
I don't have any other questions. Does anybody have any concerns? Dennis, is there anything that we're missing?
No, she's, much of the house, the front yard is out of the buffer. When you start to, generally speaking, bisect the house on down, that all sort of appears within the buffer, but I was not concerned in terms of what was proposed, and obviously the mitigation wasn't proposed for this, but it's still acceptable to me in consideration of what now is considered the proposed project.
Mhm.
One question, under the footprint of the deck, being that the soil slopes down, so the water that will, drain between the boards and drop down, just to keep the soil from eroding, Is there gonna be some stone or gravel or something under the deck just so you don't get erosion underneath?
We haven't considered that, and I'm not sure how much, water goes down there, but if that's something that the board would like us to do, it's something that we could consider.
No, it's just because it won't get any sun, so it'll just become dirt.
Right. I mean, to be honest, I don't know what's down there right now. There already might be stone.
Strange animals.
I could ask my dog because she likes to go under there, but I don't know if I'll get a good response.
Just because the land slopes away, if the water just constantly drips on it, it's eventually gonna, create little
Mhm.
erosion. Just something to think about. It doesn't
Okay.
really change what we're doing, but
Okay. No,
something
thank you
to
for that.
think about.
Okay. Any concerns? David? No,
Nope, looks pretty
Nope.
simple.
I agree. Okay. So with the understanding that these plans that were shown will be sent to Dennis and attached as part of the application, I'll entertain a motion to approve the permit as per the application.
Motion to approve the application as noted.
And I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Heather. Good
Thank
luck.
you very much. Thank you. I appreciate all the
Yep.
service for the town and everything. So
Good luck.
Good luck with the
Good
deck.
luck with it.
thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
You too.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Okay. Next item is the Grace Lane permit on the edge of the pond. Dennis, is that just, are you gonna just update us?
I can, because I did have a conversation with the applicant this morning. And so, moving,
Well, I mean, no,
Moving forward.
I'm asking whether you're doing it because I don't see anybody here representing the applicant. Were they
that's
supposed to
right.
be here?
I told them not to show because they were not really at the stage where I think they're ready to present what the revised project is going to be. And so, in essence, they will work with us, the development department rather, to get the project where they're able to sort of advance what they're looking to advance and make amends where they need to make amends. So if you recall, in summary, I think what the proposal is going to be, obviously the tennis court from the property was removed, and they're still trying to advance the construction of that pergola, as well as I guess they keep calling it a pond feature, but it's, going to be this small private pond. And obviously they want to do a fair amount of planting as well. So when they're sort of ready to get to the stage of submitting revised plans, for just that, then they will make a reappearance before the ERB. So, but they weren't prepared to do that. There was more of going to be a dialogue, and I said I don't think that's a wise choice at this time, because you're not really going to be advancing anything. So that's why they're not here, and I recommended that it's not a good time for them to show. They were insistent at the time that I was developing the agenda, and we were in a better place today to speak and reevaluate, I guess is the best way to phrase it.
Okay. Did I hear you say that they've already demolished the tennis court, though?
The tennis court is gone from the site, yes. And they've also met, I think, with the ZBA, and I recall the building inspector telling me they did get a waiver for the coverage, development coverage, which, if you recall, I did ask the question, will you be over the development coverage even after the removal of the tennis court? And they said, yeah, we believe so. So I got the impression that property just kind of advanced through the years with, you know, little to no checks and balances, and that's kind of where it existed today. So
Did they need a permit to demolish the tennis court or no?
well, that probably would have been, yeah, that should have been part of the application, I would say. It was in the buffer. Because you would ask, you know, I don't think there'd be an issue in terms of wanting to demolish a tennis court, but, you know, what you would look to put afterwards, you may just want to have some control over. But
No, I mean, and I don't know whether I meant even as part of our application or whether
Right.
with the building department, or they needed something just to make sure that there would be, you know, the usual, you know, protections, especially since it's right up on the edge of the pond.
Right, and I know, you know, I would have to clarify that with the building inspector. I know, obviously, you know, demolition of homes and whatnot, yes, absolutely. You know, certain size retaining walls and whatever, absolutely, you know, so that's a good question. If someone were to just, like, a pool or a tennis court, what would be the, I'll clarify what that answer would be.
Okay. So they anticipate to come back next month, do you think, or where does it stand?
Possibly, yes. She was going to go back to her client, the architect I spoke with, she was going to go back to her client today to sort of give the scope and direction based on our conversation today, moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else we should know about it?
About that application?
Yeah, I think that's it. That's all we
Yeah.
got left, right?
Right.
Yeah. Nothing more? Okay. Good. Well, that was short and sweet.
Not bad.
Sounds fave. It was the longest part was waiting for me to get in. I'm sorry. I have to get my Newcastle thing. Did anybody else's Newcastle mail stop working also?
No,
Nope,
David, yours, no problem?
no problem.
I
Just
set
you.
mine up. It was working for like a little while and then it was over.
I had to do something with a guy like a couple of weeks ago. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I guess I never did that.
Yeah, you had to reset your password.
Right.
All right. And I'll need help. That's not something I can do myself?
No, you got to call this guy Matt.
All right.
It's a lot easier when he does it for you.
All right. I will call Matt because clearly that's the problem. I'm not getting my emails, so.
Well, do you have the information for Sullivan Data? I can get that for you, Ivan. That's not a problem.
For this Matt guy?
Did they change
Yeah,
the name of their
yeah.
company, by the way, Dennis?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
They don't answer the phone Sullivan Data anymore. I got a little confused for a few minutes.
Oh, okay. It's funny. That's just how we refer to them around the office. So, okay, yeah, that could have happened.
Mhm.
Sorry. If they're not publicly traded, I don't pay attention. So, yeah.
All right. By the way, Dennis, when's our meeting supposed to be next month? Do you know?
let's see, the third, come on, calendar. The third Monday for next month is 17, May 17.
Okay, I will be out of town that day. Actually coming back that night from Los Angeles, so I won't be able to make the meeting. So if Ted can make it, then there's a quorum without me. You guys can go ahead, otherwise we'll have to reschedule.
It wouldn't be the same without you, Jonathan. I think we should reschedule.
Sans doute, but I'm sure you'll be able to carry on.
I think it'd be kind of cool to have the chair at 35,000 feet, actually, conducting the meeting. I don't know if that's possible, though.
I don't know how the rest of the people on the plane would feel about it. So, no, it's, the timing can't be helped. My son's going to be graduating from medical school out there, so we have to be going.
Awesome.
So,
That's even better than an ERB meeting, Jonathan.
oh yeah.
That's great.
So,
Congratulations.
thank you. So, anyway, we can talk, Dennis, in the interim and figure out exactly what's going to happen, but just wanted to give you the heads up.
Thank you.
So if there's no other business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to
I will
adjourn.
move.
Second, David?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, great. Thanks, everybody. We'll
Thank
see
you.
soon.